Max Verstappen and Red Bull are seizing the day at the Japanese Grand Prix. After a rocky experience in Singapore, Red Bull is showing signs of a comeback, with Verstappen leading both of today's practice sessions at the Suzuka Circuit. The team is revving up their confidence, and the car, according to Verstappen, is back to being a joy to drive. The competition from Ferrari and McLaren is fierce, but all eyes are on Red Bull's performance. Sergio Perez, Verstappen's right-hand man, also shares the optimistic air. The Red Bull duo is gearing up for the qualifying and race, keeping in mind the high tyre degradation at the Suzuka Circuit. Can Red Bull secure their second consecutive Constructors' Championship this weekend? It's a possibility if they manage to outscore Mercedes and keep Ferrari at bay. This weekend promises a thrilling spectacle. Good day, folks. You're listening to Enzo here on F1 Motor Fever podcast.
And I'm your co-host for the day, William.
Don't forget to tune in to us every day for all the latest updates in Formula One. Hit that subscribe button and make sure those notifications are turned on. Let's go full throttle. Remember that spectacular run of 15 race victories for Red Bull and 10 on the bounce for Verstappen? It seemed the formidable partnership was invincible till Singapore happened. It's fascinating to see how quickly the tables can turn in this sport. Isn't it?
Spot on. I recall being part of a local racing event back in my Birmingham days, and we were the top dogs, unbeatable for many races. Then, out of nowhere, we hit a rough patch at one particular circuit, almost parallel to what Red Bull experienced in Singapore. It was a humbling experience, to say the least.
That's the beauty of our sport, isn't it? The thrill of the chase, the unpredictability, and the constant reminder that no matter how many wins you have under your belt, you're only as good as your last race. Now, back to Verstappen, he's leading the pack again at Suzuka.
Yes, the Suzuka Circuit, with its fast, flowing sections, seems to suit Red Bull's style. Verstappen managed to lead both of Friday's practice sessions quite comfortably, finishing 3/10 clear of Ferrari's Charles Leclerc. It's remarkable. And it looks like he's quite confident about the team's performance this weekend.
Indeed. However, the competition is tight. Ferrari and McLaren are close, but as Verstappen said, the focus is on optimizing their own performance. If they manage that well, Verstappen is confident to vie for the pole position.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the Red Bull garage, Sergio Perez seems to be finding his groove as well, despite ending the day 9th fastest. It's all shaping up quite nicely. I can't wait to see how the weekend unfolds.
It's not just about fast timings, but also managing tyre degradation. With the hot temperatures expected at Suzuka, it's going to be quite a challenge, isn't it?
Absolutely, tyre management is crucial in such conditions. The drivers will need both speed and strategy to succeed. Perez certainly seems aware of it. He's looking forward to qualifying well, keeping in mind the high degradation around Suzuka.
And he's bullish about his prospects for the weekend. It's going to be a thrilling affair, indeed.
Oh, without a doubt. But let's not forget, there's an even bigger prize in sight. Red Bull could clinch the Constructors' Championship this weekend, if they outscore Mercedes and do not get outscored by Ferrari by more than 24 points.
That's right. The stakes are indeed high. It's all to play for. This weekend has all the ingredients to be an absolute cracker.
Couldn't agree more. With Verstappen and Perez showing good form, Red Bull certainly seems to be on the front foot. But as we've seen so many times before, anything could happen in this sport. It's going to be a nail-biter, for sure.
Now, William Turner, why don't we take a quick look at what the fans are saying on the internet? There's always some interesting chatter there, isn't there?
Absolutely, let's see what we've got today. So, here's the main post by a user named JovanMilik97, quote, Wolff did everything he could to make Schumacher attractive to his confidant, Valles, even providing him with data from Schumacher's drives in the Mercedes simulator. After studying the data, Valles finally called it off, unquote.
Oh well, it's the game of opinions, isn't it? What's the response looking like?
Well, a user named Japmone68 says, quote, James is the guy Williams needed all these years. Unquote. Interestingly, Pure Measurement 529 replied to that comment, quote, looks like he doesn't want to take drivers who are being thrown at him but rather have drivers who he can select. Trying to build an independent identity for Williams.
Sounds about right. Any other gems in there?
Indeed, there's more. A user named Nuclear Candle says, quote, which is easier to do now that Williams is financially stable and a serious midfield team. No more Latifies and juniors who will be pulled from them in 2 to 3 years, unquote.
The joys of financial stability. Anything else worth mentioning?
Absolutely. Here's a remarkable comment from user Drodridge, quote, I'd actually like to see Checo going there post-Red Bull. I think it could prove to be a good partnership, unquote.
A switch to Williams for Perez. That would certainly be a turn of events. Anything else?
User antivirals _ says, quote, the Verstappen's victims cemetery, unquote. Perhaps indicative of the high-pressure environment at Red Bull.
A bit of a graveyard for careers, is it?
Seems so. But as user Drodridge pointed out, quote, at some point a third of the grid will be like that, it is what it is, unquote.
Well, it's a tough sport, isn't it? Any other comments from our internet pundits?
Yes, there's one from a user named Thejasonkane, quote, I'm guessing Checo has made enough money in his life and has plenty of individual sponsors. His retirement life in Mexico will surely be more comfortable than retiring in, say, GB or some other country with a crazy high tax rate. He can probably dabble in other motorsport, or decide to go to IndyCar for fun given that it's in North America. I don't think Checo will go from midfield to Red Bull back to midfield. He's already old enough, unquote.
Some fascinating thoughts there, William. It's always interesting to hear what the fans are saying, isn't it? That's a wrap for today's episode of F1 Motor Fever podcast. We've had a cracking discussion on the upcoming race and tyre degradation, potential constructor champions, and some fascinating fan dialogue from the interwebs. A big thank you to all our listeners. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment of our thrilling Formula One chats. Share our content far and wide, on social media, at your local pub, or even over dinner with the in-laws. And if you've enjoyed today's show, do let us know in the comments.
Absolutely, every bit of support makes a world of difference. Remember, we're here every day, sharing the latest and greatest from the world of Formula One. And stay tuned, we've got some real treats lined up in the coming weeks. You won't want to miss it.
Couldn't have said it better myself, William. We're incredibly grateful for all our listeners and can't wait to bring you more top-notch content. Until next time. Hobbs, pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road, our channel's content is pure gold.